Well, this Rychuhss, I come feel like up a dance and it's dancing from a distance. When I stop sing dance, oh, I be. Them one away, them one away, them one away. Greetings, people. It's your boy, the Righteous Messenger, passing through once again in the flesh. Before I proceed, I would like to say a big thank you to all of my viewers and subscribers. I see that Kessian Koma Ashefoni Etiefo. Yes. And people, a lot of times I've heard believers or religious people use these two words to mean the same thing: believing and knowing. For instance, I've heard believers or religious people say a lot of times that I believe in God, I know He is real. Do you understand, people? I believe in God, I know He is real. I think believe and know, or believing and knowing, is used interchangeably in this phrase, but is wrong because these two words are similar but have different meanings or stand for different ideas or concepts. People, a lot of believers or religious people will argue and say that knowledge and belief, or believing and knowing, can mean the same thing, but I do not think so. And when I'm talking about believing, I'm talking about in terms of faith. You know, like I said in the 10th sentence, I believe in God, I know He is real. So basically, we're talking about the supernatural when it comes to believing, or what I'm talking about now. And I'm going to show you the meaning of these two words. First, let's look at the meaning of believe, or how is believe is described. So people, believe or believing simply means accepting something is true without evidence or proof. And people, to know something means you know that thing is real, you know that thing is true, you have evidence to back it. Like you've seen that thing, you've observed that thing, you've got information concerning that thing. Basically, I'm just giving you the meaning of knowing, how to know something of head, and I hope it's clear enough. So people, based on the two descriptions I've given you, or the meanings I've given you of these two words, believing and knowing, believers, when they use these two words to mean the same thing, or when they use these two words similarly, I think it's a contradiction. You know, it's a contradiction to use these two words in terms of the supernatural, because I mean, you can't say I believe in God, I know He is real. The question is, do you believe or do you know? Because you either believe or you know. You can't do both. It makes no sense. So people, basically, when you are making claims or statements concerning the supernatural, the existence of a God, existence of spirits, existence of ghosts, you know, even let's say some people believe there's something called mami water or mermaids. There's nothing, there's no evidence to prove this. No one has ever seen these things. People will claim they have, but it's just a claim, you see, and the burden of proof is on them to defend that claim. And many times, a lot of people, everyone who's made this claim is being found wanting when they get scrutinized, you know, by someone who is a critical thinker, or someone who has the methodology or the know-how to, you know, find these things out. But when it comes to, so basically it's wrong to use knowing, or when it comes to this abstract or metaphysical ideas, you know. But let's say you use knowledge when you know something is real, when it's backed by evidence. So people, basically, when you know something, or knowing something means you have 100% knowledge of that thing. You can prove it, you've seen it, like I said before, you can demonstrate it. Like it's a knowledge that the sun rises from the east every morning and sets in the west. Everyone knows that. It's a fact, it's proven, we can see it, you know. And also, let's say I was born so and so years ago. It's a type of knowledge. People, also, we can say that I know the moon and the stars appear in the night, because it's a fact. Everybody, you can see that, you can demonstrate that, you can show someone who's got the ability to see that there's a moon and stars in the sky in the night. So people, based on the examples I've given concerning, say, the sun, the moon, and the fact that you were born to so and so date, you know, these are knowledge, something that you know. You know, when you try to express or refer to these things, you can say I know, because you have proof of evidence to show for these things, you know. And another word that is used in place of belief is faith, you know. And I think faith is a very poor way of verifying if something is true or not, because once again, it's 50-50. You don't have the evidence, you don't have the proof, but you take it on faith, you know. You trust that that thing is there even though it's not there. You know, a lot of people get duped or deceived like this. I remember back in the day, or even nowadays, you still go to town and somebody will just pull you up. Oh, I'm selling this laptop for cheap. The laptop is in a box. You know, a lot of people have been duped like this, and they rush you into believing that there's a laptop in there, and maybe it's £1,000 laptop, but they're selling it for £100 or £200 or £150. So you get carried away. You give them the money, you take the box. By the time you get home, there's a stone in there. You know, so you've been conned or duped. You know, so don't work with faith. Faith holds no evidence. It's a poor method of verifying what is true. And a lot of believers Christians use this verse in the Bible, Hebrews 11:1. It says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Like I said, if you base your belief on faith, you be found wanting. You be there for the taking. But the con man will deceive you. You know, you go to church and he will sell you miracles and make you believe in miracles, take your money through tithes and offerings. You know, faith is a con man's game. Don't fall for it. People, you wouldn't buy a car and believe based on faith that the car is in a good working condition. You would take it for a test drive to verify, to find out that does this car drive good, or is it in good working condition. Some people will even take someone who's got experience, a mechanic, to go and check the car properly to see if the car is working or is in good working condition. Again, as well, you won't buy a house based on faith that the house is in a good condition. No, you want evidence. You want to go into the house, see with your own eyes, and see that yes, the house is in good condition. You want to see paperwork that shows the history, that can prove the history, or that, what's the word? The paperwork should literally match with the history of the house or the car that you want to buy. So the reason why I'm saying this is, even a house and a car is an earthly thing. It's something that you will live on in this earth in a matter of time. But I mean, the idea of the afterlife is forever. I don't know. Some people say they die and they come back, but for me, let's just take it that you die and that's it. But then again, people say there's an afterlife. I don't have a proof to show that there's no afterlife. I haven't died before. I've been someone who has died and come back. So if you say that there's an afterlife, fine. It's your claim. You can prove it if you have the evidence. But I'm not going to say there's no afterlife because I haven't experienced that and I haven't got anything to prove it. So let's say there's afterlife and you just believe this based on faith. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea. How can you believe something as important as that based on faith? No, you need good evidence to believe that. So someone like me, something like that, until I have all the evidence, look, I'm not going to accept when someone comes and tells me that they believe that. I'll say, prove it. And if you can't prove it, then you are. So people, to end this video, I'd like to say that if God exists, he should find a good way of revealing himself so that people can stop misrepresenting him. And even if he can't reveal himself, the least he can do is stop all these con men from taking people's hard-earned money in the churches in the form of tithes and offerings. It's your boy, the righteous messenger, passing through once again in the flesh. Peace. Asumdue.